Hey family, my name is Chris, I am the Home Gamer Dad, and today we're going to be learning what it takes to mine valuable crystals from the insides of a space beast, and how to digest unwanted miners within our bellies, and how to do both without actually having to do anything. That's right, today I'll be taking you through how to play for So You've Been Eaten. For this tutorial, I will be showing off all the different variations of the game, 2-player, 1-player, and the 0-player. So if there's any particular one you're looking for, be sure to use the chapter select in the description, in the bars, however you want to do it in order to jump to a specific section that you're looking for. But I do highly recommend, if you haven't seen this game at all, watch the 2-player version, because if you're playing as a 1-player, whatever side you're playing as pretty much follows whatever you're doing in the 2-player. Designed by Scott Almus and published by Ludi Creations, So You've Been Eaten is a 0 to 2-player asymmetric game where a galactic miner faces off against the insides of a giant space beast as the miner tries to collect valuable crystals. The miner wins if they are able to collect all 8 unique gems, while the beast wins if they are able to digest the miner. There is, of course, an additional endgame condition where the miner ends up going out the other end of the beast. In that case, each player sees how many victory points they've earned throughout the game, and whoever has the most points wins. Ties go to the miner. Setup for a 2-player game begins with each player determining what side they're going to be playing for. One person playing the miner, and the other person playing the space beast. You would then take their segments and connect them together to form the game board. On the miner side, you're going to look for the human miner icon located in the bottom right corner of the first segment, and that's going to connect to this second segment that will have spaces for captured crystals and captured tools. For the beast side, the player is going to look for the awakened beast icon, which is right here in the bottom corner, and then in the next segment, you're going to look for the immune response cards that show 3 in a row instead of 1. The reverse side of all of these are for the AI. Once both players have chosen their side and gotten their appropriate segments, you're going to combine them together in one long pattern, putting the beast player on one side, the miner on the other, and in the center is the digestive track. The miner player is going to be given the 3 action dice, and then on top of the upgraded icons here, you're going to be placing these tiles, meaning that these actions are not available to the miner at the beginning of the game. On the beast side, you're going to place the 4 bacteria tokens in their starting spots on his side of the board. This is the collector's edition of the game, so your pieces may differ than mine, but they are all going to be the same thing. 4 different color bacteria. You're then going to take the mutation cards and place them right here for now until the end of the first round. The beast player is then going to go through the immune response deck and remove any cards that have the Hibernating Beast logo on it, but just the Hibernating Beast logo. It's okay to leave in the deck anything that has both the Awakened and the Hibernating Beast. So you should remove about 6 cards from this deck. The Beast player is then going to shuffle the immune response cards, place them in their spot here, and deal out 3 cards face up. Shuffle the stomach cards, and then starting with the spot closest to the miner that would be labeled as a 1 on the board, you're going to work backwards and place 7 cards on the digestive track. These cards show bacteria type, crystals, tools, and any other useful icons that will either help or hinder the miner. After this has been placed here, the beast will get a starting hand of 7 cards. Place the remaining stomach cards down next to the immune response cards and find the 8 crystals that the miner will be searching for as he goes through the game. You're now ready to play a 2-player game of So You've Been Eaten. Thing to note, the skill calibration routine and emergency workload enhancement device tiles, yes, it's a mouthful, can be used to be a balance to a game if one side is more experienced than the other. These screwed tiles are double-sided. For the miner, they show 1 of each type of tool. The player that is the miner will randomly take one of these and place all 3 that they randomly choose into their tools section. These now are available tools for this miner at the beginning of the game and must be used in order to open up slots in order to acquire more tools from the digestive tract. For the beast, each side of these screwed tiles has a 1 energy marking on it. Energy is used in order to purchase immune response cards, which is what they need as one of their win conditions. The beast would then take all 5 of these, and once per turn could use one, returning it to the box, and reduce the cost of any immune response card by 1. Each side has different objectives to win. The miner must collect 1 of each type of crystal, or survive long enough in the digestive tract and have equal or more victory points than the beast in order to win. The beast wins if one of these 3 conditions are met. 1. Any 4 color bacteria reach the end of their track. 2. They have 5 immune response cards at the end of the miner's turn, up here and active. And 3. After all the stomach cards have been played and the miner has been expelled, they have more victory points than the miner. Remember, ties go to the miner. Gameplay always starts with the miner. The miner has 3 phases that they take during their turn, and phase 1 is rolling the dice. If 3 of the same number are ever rolled, the miner may re-roll all of those at once in order to get a different result. But if at least 1 number is different, then the miner takes that roll and applies it to its next phase, which is the actions. When taking actions, the miner is going to use the dice in any order, and the numbers that are shown correspond to the numbers on the digestive tract. Whatever action you take in the digestive tract involving that dice can only be done on that spot. For example, a 5 on the dice can only affect the number 5 spot on the track. In addition, there are other things the dice can do, but it's best we go down the line with possible actions, upgrades, and everything else it does. Whenever an action is taken that removes a card, once the action has fully been resolved, immediately slide down the stomach cards on the track, filling any gaps. For example, if this was removed, then all of these cards would immediately move down after the action has been resolved. The miner has 5 basic actions and 3 upgraded actions that they can take using the dice. 1 dice per action. These actions are upgrade, capture, eliminate, stun, and adjust. Upgrade. Capture, eliminate, and stun each have an upgrade ability that can be unlocked when using a dice of the shown number. So a 5 or 6 can upgrade capture, 3 or 4 can upgrade eliminate, and a 1 and 2 can upgrade stun. Remove the relevant upgrade tile from the board to reveal the additional space. For example, the 6 could go here, and this would be removed, showing an additional ability in the capture spot. Thing to note, upgrades are not permanent and can be downgraded by the beast, explained later. Capture. Placing a dice here will allow you to capture a crystal from the numbered space. The target must have a crystal on it, and you may not capture a crystal you already have. Discard the card from the digestive tract and place the matching crystal in the collection crystals area on the side of the board. For example, in this particular situation, I could put a 3 here, which would then correspond to the 3 spot on the digestive tract, enabling the miner to earn this crystal. The card would be removed, the crystal of the matching color, in this case the black crystal, is placed on the side over here, and then with the action done, everything moves down. You are allowed to take the same action every turn, so if I happen to have a 5, you would think I could put it here in order to capture this crystal, but unfortunately this is already the black crystal, and thus the miner could not capture it. He'll have to wait for a future turn when another colored crystal is on the digestive tract. Upgraded capture. This is exactly like the regular capture ability, but instead of capturing crystals, you're capturing tools. The target must have a tool shown on it, and you may have multiple of the same tool, but can only hold 3 tools at any given time. If a 4th tool is ever collected, one of the previous tools would need to be discarded. To use a tool, discard the stomach card from the collection tool space, which is right here, and activate its effect. There is a reference card right here that shows you the different effects of the tools. So just to show it in action, place the 4 here. 4 has a tool. You would collect it and place it. I like putting it under the board. You can place it next to the board, but this shows you now that the miner has this tool at their disposal that they can use anytime during their turn. Eliminate. This is used to remove 2 to 3 dangerous bacteria from the digestive tract. There are 4 different color bacteria within the stomach: green, blue, red, and yellow. The target must have at least 1 adjacent stomach card of the same color. You would then target the space and discard the target card and any adjacent cards of the same color. If both of the adjacent cards were the same color, you would discard all 3 cards. Keep in mind you do not gain the benefits, crystal or tools, from eliminating these cards, and any crystals that you eliminate this way are gone from the game. Just like with before, after everything is done, once it's satisfied, everything moves down. Upgrade Eliminate. This is used to remove the immune response cards that the beast will be collecting throughout the course of the game. This is important because if the beast ever has 5 of these in play at the end of the miner's turn, the beast automatically wins. Placing a dice in the area will remove a immune response card that shares the same matching value on the bottom right. So if you place a 2 in the upgraded eliminate ability, you'd be able to eliminate either this card or this card, the miner's choice. Stun. Placing a dice here enables the miner to push a stomach card further away from them. The card must go away to a higher number, but can go as many spaces as the miner wants. In addition, since the beast is stunned and the miner can take advantage of that, the miner may then adjust 1 unused die by plus or minus 1. Keep in mind that the numbers do not wrap. A 6 does not become a 1, but a 6 can become a 7, going all the way to the end of the digestive tract. So for example, if I placed a 2 here, I could take the number 2 spot and push it as far back as I want, but that also moves all of the other cards forward. In addition, if I had a dice that I did not use, I can either increase it or decrease it by 1, making this either a 5, or a 3. Upgraded Stun. Placing a dice here enables the miner to push a card further away, the same thing as a normal stun. However, this time the miner may take the dice that was used for the action, re-roll it, and then immediately use it for another action. That action cannot be a stun, regular or basic or upgraded. However, you may use a tool before using the dice. The final action is Adjust. Placing a dice here gives the miner the ability to change the value of any unused dice to whatever they want between 1 and 6. Again, the dice must be unused for the miner to be able to use the Adjust ability. Once all actions have been taken using the dice, the third phase begins and the miner takes damage from the closest bacteria to them. Whatever bacteria card is in the first spot hits the miner, and that color bacteria advances on the bacteria track. For this example, the bacteria card that was closest to the miner was a blue bacteria, so the blue bacteria would move up 1 space, and then this card would be discarded from the game. If this is the second round or beyond, you would then check the mutation card that is put face down by the beast. If it matches the color of the attacking bacteria, the miner must lose either 1 upgrade or 1 crystal. If the miner has neither, then nothing happens. Thing to note, as the miner, crystals are needed to win the game. However, there are a limited number of crystals in the stomach deck, 2 of each to be precise. So be sure to pay attention when the cards are sent to the discard pile. Also, as mentioned, the miner can lose crystals. This happens either through mutation cards or immune response card effects. It is possible for the miner to be unable to collect all the crystals in the game. With the miner's turn done, it's now the beast's turn. The beast starts by filling the digestive tract using the 7 cards in their hand. Starting from the closest space to the miner, the beast will fill the tracks 1 by 1, going backwards until all are full. Cards can be placed in any way they want, but it has to be from forward to back. The beast may then choose to do an accelerated ingestion act. By placing an additional card at the end of the track, the card closest to the miner gets removed and all the cards slide down 1. This is helpful when removing crystals or tools from that space. The beast can do this as many times as they have cards in their hand. However, cards in hand are important because they are used for the next phase of the beast's turn, acquiring immune response cards. The beast is allowed to acquire 1 of these per turn, and these are powerful cards that grant immediate or ongoing effects. In order to obtain one, the beast needs to spend energy. When acquired, the card goes to the immune response card section. Remember, if there are ever 5 of these here at the end of the miner's phase, the beast automatically wins. If no immune response cards are bought during the turn, or if one from the left or center are bought, depending on how you have it laid out, it could be from the top or bottom, the cards then shift over. If none were bought, then this automatically gets discarded and these move over with a new one adding to the end. If, however, one of these 2 were bought, then this would slide over and a new one would replace here. So depending on how you have it set up, a card will either come into play, a new card, to the far left or the top, depending if you have them straight up and down or left and right. Energy is gained by crystals in the digestive tract and cards in hand that do not show crystals on them. You may not play cards with crystals on them to gain energy. Any card played from your hand in order to gain energy goes to the bottom of the stomach deck. When purchasing immune response card, you want to look to the upper left corner of the card to show the cost. In the bottom left, it also shows the prerequisite for that card. In this case, blockage would need at least 1 of each color bacteria in the digestive tract for the beast to actually be able to purchase this. There are various prerequisites in the game, and the game does come with a helper card that breaks down the symbolism in them for easy viewing. If the prerequisite is met, you would then need to pay the energy cost, -1 for every crystal in the digestive tract, in this case 1, and then you would have to discard 3 cards from your hand, all of which do not have crystals on them, and place them on the bottom of the stomach tract in order to be able to purchase the immune response card. Once the card has been bought and placed up here, you read the text and follow any immediate responses or any immediate effects that go into it, or it sits there as a passive ability until either the end of the game or the miner removes it. The beast then draws back up to 7 cards. Also, from here on out, in a 2-player mode only, the beast would then use the mutation cards. This is where the beast is going to predict which one of the bacteria is going to hit the miner at the end of the next miner round. Whatever one they predict goes face down here. At the end of the round, it is flipped over to see if they're right, and then this card is immediately removed from the game. There are 2 of every color bacteria in the mutation deck, plus a return to your hand card. This is a bluff in order to try to make the miner do something crazy. This will always go back to your hand. These cards are always discarded afterwards. The miner then goes again, and turns continue this way until one of the following game conditions have been met. 1, the miner gains all 8 crystals, in which the miner immediately wins. 2, the beast has one of its bacteria reach the final spot on the track, or 5 immune response cards in play at the end of the miner's turn. This is when the beast immediately wins. And finally, if the beast cannot refill their hand with stomach cards at the end of their turn, the miner gets one final turn. If neither of the first 2 triggers happen, add up the points to see who's the winner. The miner will gain 1 point per crystal and 1 point per upgrade. The beast will have points in the shape of stars on the immune response cards and on the bacteria tract, and then you add those together and subtract 1 point for each crystal still in their hand. Compare the points, and whoever has the most points wins. Again, ties go to the miner. So, you went inside a Hibernating Beast. This game is for 1 player with a human miner going up against a Hibernating Beast, which is the AI. The miner and the digestive tract are set up exactly as they would be from a 2-player game. To set up the AI for the beast, you're going to be flipping the 2 end tiles to the Hibernating Beast side. One of them will show the icon for the Hibernating Beast down in the corner. The other will show the immune response cards, but only a single card on top rather than 3. In addition to that, you're going to set it up as normal with the bacteria going on their starting spots. Now down here at this end, and the beast will not be given any mutation cards. In addition, for the immune response deck, you're going to be adding back in the cards that have the symbol that have the Hibernating Beast on it. But you'll also be removing from the deck 12 cards that only have the Awakened Beast symbol on it. Shuffle these all together, and then on the stack, you're going to flip the first card face up. The beast also gets a Digestion die, which is basically a 6-sided dice, so anything would really do, but the collection edition I have did come with a specific dice for this. In addition to that, you're going to set up the Digestive track as normal, placing down the 7 cards along the track, but the beast does not get a hand of cards. The miner's turn plays out exactly the same as a 2-player game, except when a bacteria reaches its level 2 on the board, the miner must downgrade an action or lose a crystal if they have no upgraded actions. If they don't have either, then nothing happens. On the beast's turn, roll the Digestive die, which again is a basic 6-sided die, and resolve the corresponding action indicated on the beast's board. If an action is not possible, for example, you roll a 3 and there's no crystal on the board to discard, then proceed to the next step without doing anything further. After the Digestion die has been rolled and resolved, any open spaces in the Digestive track are moved forward, and then, as per usual, starting from the space closest to the miner, these spaces are filled from the Stomach card deck. The final step for the Hibernating Beast is to acquire the top card from the Immune Response deck and place it up here in the Immune Response section and activates its ability. In this situation, there is a human and a robot player that would have to activate. So depending on who the beast is going against, one of these two would trigger. In this case, it would be the human one. You would then flip over the top card of the Immune Response deck and wait to the end of the next turn to acquire it. The same end condition applies for the Hibernating Beast. If one bacteria reaches the end of its path, or there are 5 immune response cards in play at the end of the miner's turn, the beast immediately wins. As for the miner, their end condition, of course, is the same as well. Acquiring all 8 of the crystals is an immediate win, or if they manage to survive through the Stomach deck and have more points than the Hibernating Beast, they win. So, you've eaten a robotic miner. This is the 1-player setup for an Awakened Beast going up against a robotic miner. Setup for the Awakened Beast is the same as the 2-player, except you do not get the mutation cards. Leave them in the box, they will not be used. For the robotic miner, you're going to want to flip both of the end tiles over to the robot miner section. So you're going to see the robotic miner icon in the bottom corner, and the board is going to look like this. And then for the second one, you're going to have all your crystals in the same spot, but then you're going to take the robotic miner and place them in the spot right here. The beast's turn is largely the same, except for the following. 1. When acquiring immune response cards, and a card is played from the beast's hand, the energy gained is equal to the level of the bacteria on the card. For example, if the blue bacteria was on the 3, and you played a blue bacteria from your hand, this would then produce 3 energy, enabling you to acquire cards easier. 2. A new action is added, Regression Replication. The robot miner will be moving up the replication track throughout the game, and if it ever hits the end, that is an automatic win condition for the robot miner. Once per turn, the beast may discard cards matching all of the bacteria shown on the track of the space that the robot miner is in order to move the miner back 1 level. Just remember, any card played from the hand for energy or the regression ability cannot have crystals on them. On the robot miner's turn, roll the dice one at a time and place them in slots from left to right. So this would go here, this would go here, and this would go here. Starting with the highest number, or if there's a tie, whatever is to the left, work down the action track and perform the first possible action from the list. If no actions can be done, re-roll that dice and work down the track again. If no actions can be done a second time, discard that dice. In this scenario, the game ends when the robot miner has 7 instead of 8 crystals, or if the robot replication piece makes it all the way to the end of the replication track. The same win conditions apply for the beast as with previous games. As per usual, if it comes down to points and there's a tie, the robot miner always wins. So, a robot miner went into a hibernating beast. This is the 0-player game where the two AIs go head-to-head. Set up each side as described in the previous section, using the robot miner and the hibernating beast sides of the board. Again, the beast will not have mutation cards, nor will they have a hand of cards. And of course, the immune response deck will not have any of the icons showing an awake beast, but will have the hibernating beast icons mixed in. And as far as the robot miner goes, they get their 3 dice as normal, but the replication unit will start at this spot here. You can actually tell because there's a slight green glow to that. You may be able to see, you may not be able to, but it is 2 spaces already in. The two AIs go head-to-head as described in the previous sections, and the game ends in the usual ways. Miner collecting 8 crystals, or the replication piece hitting the end of the track. For the beast, any bacteria reaching level 4 on the track, or having 5 immune response cards up here and active at the end of the miner's turn. For points, the game immediately ends if the beast can't draw up the 7 cards, in which case all the points are added up, and in the case of a tie, the robot miner wins. So, that's how you play. So, you've been eaten, and all the various modes that the game has to offer. If you have any questions at all about gameplay or anything like that, please leave them down in the comments section below, and I will get to them as soon as I can. I hope you enjoyed learning how to play the game and that I was able to tell you anything you needed to know about it. And I look forward to seeing you back here when I start doing my playthroughs of this. I'll be doing both 1-player versions, one as the beast and one as the miner. And then just for fun, I'll be running the 0-player one. Should be fun, should be interesting. So be sure to subscribe to the Home Gamer Dad if you haven't already, so you don't miss them. Again, I can't thank you guys enough. Your support for this channel is what's making it thrive and what's keeping it going, and it's building our family, making it stronger and stronger with each passing day. So I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea how much it means to me. You guys are amazing. We will be making enough of a force in order to be able to jump in and rip open the insides of a giant space worm and collect all the gems for everybody. Doesn't that sound neat? You guys take care of each other and yourselves. Remember, we are family forever, gaming together. I will see you guys in the playthrough. Have a good one. Later.